Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of INCRadio Silicon Valley. My name is Brother Glean, and with me,
I'm Sister Jill Navasca here in the local congregation of Redwood City. And as we mentioned, AI answer questions answered tonight. Joining us again, we have.
I'm Brother Ian Zagabayan from the locale of Redwood City. Should I give a quick intro about myself?
sure, of course.
I'm a UX, a user experience designer at Big Tech, career mentor, technologist, father. I don't know what else.
The reason why Brother Ian is here is actually we have questions we pulled from our last broadcast. As you remember, our last broadcast was also about AI, but this time we will be answering your questions tonight.
Yes, so we saw a few of the questions that we didn't get a chance to answer from our live chat. So those in the live chat again today, if you happen to have more questions about AI, please put it in. But also another topic, if there are other tech topics that you want to know about or learn, we definitely would love to hear so that in our next possible shows, we can cover those subjects that you, our viewers out there, would love to hear about.
Before we get into the topic, we'd like to read some shout outs from our brethren here in the live chat. From Brother Walton, good evening chat, hashtag San Jose, hashtag SVC. From Eric Vitog, he says, good evening po. From Romel Jr. Aquino, good evening po. Very interesting topic tonight, viewing from hashtag San Jose, hashtag SVC. Sister Jill.
Of course, and we would like to also welcome our District Supervising Minister, Brother Noel Gassman. Good evening to all. Welcome to another episode of INC Radio, Silicon Valley, California. Have a wonderful and blessed evening to everyone. Also, Brother Walton Flores also greets good evening po to Ka Jason and the Dulalas family. Thank you all for being in our live chat tonight.
While we give you more time to think about maybe some of the burning questions you might have and posting it in our live chat, we actually have some questions we pulled from last INC Radio's broadcast. Kuya Ian, why don't we get started? So our first question is from from Levy. What is the downside of using AI?
Downside. Sorry, I have to refer to my notes. I did take notes. I did do my homework. You probably hear this a lot in the news, right? Like, people are always concerned about like losing their jobs to AI or like the robots or whatever. That is a legitimate concern. One way to look at that though is it's not to like totally displace people from their jobs, but like one way to look at it is like to augment their roles. Top example that I would often think of is like, you see this now, you go to like Safeway or to like the grocery store and self-checkout is there. Like, it's humans are not absolutely obsolete. Like, you still need someone to provide support sometimes, right? Because sometimes you'll scan and like it just doesn't work. You'll need someone to go and troubleshoot. And so like it's cool because that means those people that staff that are there, they could do kind of higher level work. And it's awesome. For me, I think it's awesome because like they could basically up level their experience. And so like it's a good way to like for the very repetitive tasks that could become obsolete, but I think for a good reason, because now like we could up level people that are staffed for like those types of jobs. They could do like bigger things.
Brother Ian, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's some parts in the US and the world where they don't even have people who work the cash register anymore. You just grab whatever you, I guess, want, scan it in the front and pay, hopefully.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like what you mentioned, sort of like that, I guess, not really eliminating that human aspect, but maybe moving it towards something else for bigger and better things.
Right.
From Wenzel's, they ask, who owns what AI creates, i.e., a photo created with AI? Do I own it or is it royalty free?
So that one specifically, I had to look it up because I do not want to get this wrong. So because this is really it's a really tricky question, but I'm just gonna read it kind of as I wrote it here. Um, AI art that's generally from AI, that's generated from AI under current. So this is just strictly from the U.S. law. You don't own the copyright. The way to look at it, it's royalty free. But your ability to use it might be governed by the AI tools that built it. So yet, you have to read the whole license thing. Good good thing about that is like it's like a lot of legalese. You could ask another AI to like kind of translate that for you.
Translate.
But key thing is if you were to and this is like my top advice too, like to use AI, but then don't use it like at face value. Use it as like a launching point to something bigger. So like I use it for like my day job where I'll ask it a prompt and it would generate something maybe like 60% of the way there. And then that's my mentality is like I know it's not going to be perfect, but it's good enough for me to go and like build off it. And so to that point, if I were to appropriate it or just kind of like build off it, I think if it's like I don't know the exact threshold of like what makes it like there's gonna be a point where like you've manipulated it enough that it becomes like your personal work. I'm not a lawyer, so like I don't know what that threshold is, but then again, like that's
There
my top
is
advice.
a percentage. I think in general for any created material,
Mhm.
there is. I don't think there is. You could say originality, like solely like 100%, unless you patent it. But if you are creating, and this is only strictly for art, because also in my design background. Design's been recycled. Like if you think of design kind of recycling every 20 or so years,
Mhm.
it's been done before. Everyone always says that, right?
Mhm.
So there is a percentage out there where it's original work and versus royalty free, which is mean it can be used by anyone,
Public domain.
public domain. And then I want to say when I was going to school, it was at least 80% yours, meaning you've created almost 80, like if I'm talking about graphic design, like layout, if you've created 80% of that, and then maybe brought in some imagery or pre-made illustrations, that then, but that layout is technically your design. Does that make sense? I hope
Yes.
that makes sense. But that was a few years ago. Now that was when I was still going to school. So I'm sure it has changed with so much new technology now. Everyone who is curious probably needs to look it up and see how much artwork needs to be changed in order for it to be completely owned by you or copyrighted.
That's true. That's true.
Laws are changing constantly.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy evolving like every by the day basically. And also from my experience, it's all US law too. So grain of salt and also do your homework because
Yeah.
I don't have the answers for there's no blanket rule yet. Again,
Yes.
it's totally evolving and changing. And so just be cautious.
And do your homework and find out if you're really worried about it.
Yes. Actually, we have some questions from our live chat live from Everett Karabal. Happy viewing from hashtag South San Jose, hashtag SBC. Their question is, what are the security implications of asking AI, for example, ChatGPT, when it comes to information about the church?
So whether it's church information or like proprietary or confidential, private, just kind of have this understanding that like anything you ask AI, it's going to be one way to put it is like it's going to be put into like maybe call it public domain or like the cloud
Yes.
or whatever. So whether again, like if you have confidential ideas or like concepts or whatever, or like things that like should stay within the realm of just church knowledge, just be mindful, I guess. If you're gonna interact with AI, again, yeah, just don't use it willy-nilly, right? Just be very mindful of like how you are what data you're inputting because it's there forever. You can't really pull it back out. It's like you open the box.
It's like once it's there, it's going to be there forever somehow in the cloud or in the World Wide Web.
Our next question from Yanessa Ilaga. How do you combat the environmental effects of the overuse of AI? Is AI art considered art?
Oh, controversial.
Yeah. Okay. How would you interpret
AI art.
environmental effects?
Oh,
I don't know if you
yeah.
can ask her right
If
now,
she's
but
on environmental effects.
it's okay. But if not, then like, what do you think environmental means?
I
these
think
days?
maybe in the context of how it affects the industry as a
Okay.
whole. That's
do you
how I
combat
interpret it.
the
Yeah.
environmental effects.
Is it how much energy is being used just
So
to.
that's what I thought
That's
too.
what I'm thinking.
But
Like,
I also
how,
like that question too. It's just like
yeah.
kind of like the societal effect
Yes.
of yeah. So
Mhm.
fatigue is the main one, right? Like
Yes.
we were talking about this earlier
Yeah.
too about like that famous Japanese artist's
Yes.
art style
Yes.
for another. I don't want to say brand names, but like they
Anime house. It's
yeah
big.
and it's everywhere, and so like
Mhm.
the reason they did that is like to kind of promote that platform.
Yes.
And yeah, like you tend to get jaded, but then also at the same time it opens a lot of people's eyes to the potential of AI. So
Mhm.
it did its job, honestly. Like now
Yes.
people know, oh, it's not just a chatbot or whatever, it could generate
Like it could
creative
take my
ideas.
it could take my picture and turn it to that very famous art style that
Yeah.
everyone knows that we're not maybe not allowed to say right
Or
now.
take. I think I saw another one the other week. Another trend was like turn my dog into a like an actual friend or something. Have your pet. I mean, dog. Your pet. Turn them into actual human friend,
Mhm.
and it's great. It looked really crazy.
Yeah.
It was odd. It
I
was
mean,
so
honestly, it's
odd.
cool. Again, like it's good entertainment sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But again, just be mindful. It's the thing is like my top advice for AI is use it, but scrutinize everything that you're gonna use it for and like how you're using it. And like my whole point like 5 minutes ago about like what you're inputting and like sharing with the AI, because that's a part of like the corpus or like the model now,
Mhm.
and forever until like we figure out how to kind of what is it called, kind of shield
Mhm.
or keep it localized. There's efforts towards doing that, but as of now, just play safe, just be cautious.
It really is because especially with the technology so new, they're still probably finding out. All there's so many like loopholes that they can get through, and not, not a lot of maybe laws in place just yet because
Mhm.
they're still learning about it. So
Mhm.
I'm sure, just like with when the first search engines came on, and privacy, all of that all changed because of that new technology of the search engine, which we all use every day now.
Yeah.
So I think same thing with AI, with new technology. Eventually, parameters will be set by governments and so on and other entities that will make sure it is safe. It
Mhm.
is safe, but I think at this time, it's still evolving.
Yeah. Actually, building off of Yanessa Laga's question, actually kind of leads us to our next question
Yes.
from Brother Marlon. Shout out, Brother Marlon. I love you, Brother Marlon. So cool. So funny skidoo in my book. Um, from Brother Marlon Sagabain, your cousin. Uh, he asks, "Will AI take over slash replace the work of the design industry?"
So yeah, I did talk about it
Mhm.
with like how it could replace like roles out in the world,
Yes.
specifically design. I could totally speak on that because like that's me. That's like
Mhm.
my day job basically. And yes, eventually, and like truth be told, the way that it's like rapidly developing, it could be sooner than like I initially thought. Where like in the next 2 years maybe, but
Right? Yeah.
yeah, but as of now, like honestly, I use it certainly to augment like my workload.
Mhm.
Like a big part, I think I talked about this last time too, where I'll use it as a sounding board or like a way to kind of validate some of the concepts I'm building out.
Yeah.
So it's not. Sometimes here's the thing though. Sometimes would actually like build. So just quick background, I'm a user experience designer, and like a part of like my job is to like build user interfaces for like basically I'm building websites and apps.
Yes.
And so sometimes I'll like ask AI like I have to build this feature, and it has to have these things, like how would you lay this out, and what kind of text would you want to what should I use to make it as user friendly as possible. And does a really good job doing that, but it outputs it as text.
Mhm.
And then it's still up to me to translate that to like how that would look like in a UI,
Mhm.
like with actual buttons and text and like where it lays out on the page. So as of now, I don't feel like threatened, like I'm gonna lose my job. But and truth be told, I'm quite happy that this exists because I'm super productive now because of like what a lot of like the brain effort that like it used to cost me previously. Um, basically, I'm getting a lot of shortcuts with like using AI.
A lot of the arguments you were bringing up about the animation studio, a lot of the arguments I saw were sort of like this saves a lot of the animators a lot more time and effort, because I know they spend how many hours a day just drawing or
Once.
animating.
Yeah.
Coloring.
Coloring.
Coloring,
Yeah. Takes
and it
hours.
saves them
Months.
it saves them time. And your answer and the questions we receive kind of lead us up to our follow-up questions, actually. So instead of talking about one industry like individually, it's asking, are there industries that only rely on AI and or have been already replaced by AI? So sort of more of a general.
Hold on. Give me 5 seconds to I don't have written. Okay.
Oh, and speaking of,
Oh, I
yeah.
do. Sorry, go ahead. If you have a thought, go
No,
ahead.
no, I
Okay.
just want to say, just to wrap up that last question, is
Yes.
it in the design industry, will AI take over? I want to say no, because there's so many I was just reading a hot topic earlier where I think an ad commercial was solely created by AI generated, and as well as besides the animation was AI generated, the ideas were also like prompted by AI. Everything was, meaning this company took out their creative team and put out an ad using only AI, and
Mhm.
it fell flat. And it really
Mm.
it was a big backlash, because AI doesn't have that, I think, the individuality of a human interaction, and
Mhm.
what and what brands want is to stand out, right?
Yes.
And if it falls flat and everyone's thinking it's soulless, or it looks just like anything else, how would you stand out? That's where that human interaction, I think, comes in, as in the branding or in the design standpoint, because as artists, your
Yes.
individuality will be brought out.
Mhm.
But if you're going into AI where it's taking in all the information, it's gonna look like everything else.
Mhm.
So that's my just 2 cents.
And also to answer the original question, like things like that would be tedious to do by hand. Like imagine if you personally like were hired to go and like your job is to filter out spam like in a person's inbox, like as a human. AI does that, and then and does it really efficiently and like with like a high success rate. So like industries like that are like don't think of like whole jobs. Think of like what is it called? Like tasks that you might need to do in like your day to day job. So like that's an example, like spam filtering,
Mhm.
customer service is another one.
Yes.
What is it called? What is it called when you read X-rays or like medical charts?
Charts, medical
Yeah,
charts.
like and like it does that with high confidence too. Things like mapping like your like directions to a place or whatever.
Mhm.
If you recall back in the day, you get it out of the glove box and then like you use your red
You
marker or whatever. You don't have to do that anymore because like now like robots will do that.
Mhm.
I have a whole bunch of examples here. Let's see.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Maps. I remember the book of maps in your glove,
Yeah.
like in the glove compartment of a car. And now we all heavily rely on our, you know, on maps, on our phones to get us from point A to point B. So
Mhm.
that's done.
And then like another, I'm looking at Kristen's
Yeah.
comment too. She use AI to help you study. Things like that. Like I personally, I'll also like I'll use it if I want to practice a language.
Mhm.
You should try this actually. Go into your favorite chatbot and say, I want to. And I use this when I was in Japan actually.
Mhm.
Something about like I got stuck inside the train station because like it's some weird little snafu. How do I explain to the ticket person that like I want to get out basically, and but also say that like you're super apologetic and I want to use formal language, and it does a really good job and it kind of breaks it down like by syllable and things like that. So like it helps you study and it helps you kind of and I said this is the second time I said it, up level like your knowledge,
Mhm.
because you could ask it really like dumb questions and like it does not judge you.
Now I think we have just time for one more, I think. And I know there's,
Make it work.
yes,
Okay,
let's
so
squeeze one in.
before we wrap things up, our last question is: once we share information with an AI tool, should we be worried about it turning up somewhere else?
And that's like the crux of this conversation too is what I said earlier, it's in the cloud now and like just again be mindful how you're using it. So to that whole comment about it like using like church information or asking things about the church,
Mhm.
maybe you can ask, but if it's only in like public domain information, if it's already on like incmedia.org, yeah, like if you're looking for like locale information, use it that way. But then
Confidential,
yeah,
probably not. If
yeah,
you don't want it to turn up somewhere else,
right.
and to have someone
Because
else has that information.
don't forget, because AI is it relies on humans to like train it to become better. And so if you put in whatever information you put in, it will get better. But then just be sure that like now that you know that it's being kind of morphed into that with that new knowledge. And so like if you don't, the thing is again, no takebacks. Like you once it's there, like it's gonna learn from that forever. And it's gonna kind of be a little more like reformed.
Actually, on that topic, Kuya Ian, Everett Kerbal follows up with another question. Real quick, how can you tell if AI is hallucinating versus giving the right information?
Love this question because this comes up like all the time.
Yes.
Again, my top advice is use AI, but scrutinize it all the time. And that's exactly for that specific reason where sometimes I'll ask it basic questions that I personally know that what the right answer is. And then I'll test it. So test it basically.
Mhm.
And then how I say, don't take it at face value. Use it as like a starting point because I'd say like 70% of the time it is correct. When it's wrong, sometimes it could be like critically wrong, but still, just again, just be very, very cautious, but still keep using it because it will get better. But yeah, it's a good tool to kind of keep using.
Sister Jill, Brother Ian, as much as I love talking about AI for about 20 minutes, we have to start wrapping up soon.
It is. That went by really quickly. And again, I want to just say thank you to everyone who put in their comments, greetings, and questions about AI. And again, um, there's just so much with this new technology. It's ongoing. It's still, I think, evolving for sure.
Yes.
And we're all finding out ways to use it in the proper way and to help us. And
Mm.
that's probably the most important thing is how it will help us.
Don't be too sad, brethren. Maybe your questions will end up in our AI questions answered part 2 or 3, or maybe even 4 or
Yeah.
5.
We'll continue, and if it's something that you could, our fellow brothers and sisters out there would like to hear more about, we definitely will come back to any of the questions you've already placed in our live chat and see if we can answer it on the next show.
Yep.
Okay. So now, we're, our district has been super busy here in Silicon Valley, California. So Kuya Tech, we are going to look at our previous activities. So let's bring up some of the photos of what's been happening around the district. So I just want to say the weather's been so nice that I think everybody last weekend went for a health walk. So you're seeing the local congregation here of Redwood City. That's our congregation. We were at Crystal Springs last Saturday. Great weather, great time for walking, as well as the local congregation of Fremont here at Lake Elizabeth. They are out and about enjoying this great weather. And San Jose, oh, we're not there yet. Is it San Jose already? I think this is still Fremont. This is still Fremont enjoying the gorgeous weather. I think now we are in San Jose congregation who also enjoyed a health walk last weekend on Saturday. And they even threw in some stretching and yoga possibly to Tai Chi, possibly to really enhance that health awareness. And here they are, the San Jose local congregation and their group photo. And Union City, here's Union City local congregation, and they went for a hike at Coyote Hill. So it's not just a walk. They went for a little bit of a terrain here, I hope. And then it's probably a bit of an uphill, and because the week before they actually already went on their health walk. So now they're feeling a little bit healthier and went for a hike. Here is the local congregation of Gilroy having a Kadiwa-sponsored pizza making. So after all that walking, they now enjoyed some pizza, and homemade pizza is always really so much fun to make.
With a pizza oven, it looks like, right?
Yeah. And after enjoying all that pizza, the following day on Sunday, on the 13th, they enjoyed a CFO family pickleball. Have you played? Have you guys played yet?
No.
No?
It's fun though.
Yeah.
It's very noisy.
It's noisy, and I think it's just easy for everyone to pick up, young and old, as you can see in our pictures here. All right, and then we also have Kuya Tech, our upcoming activity promos. So if we can show everyone the upcoming activities here in our district of Silicon Valley. On Saturday, that's tomorrow, it'll be a family bonding for Fremont locale, but they've invited the whole district as long as you've signed up to Great America. And then at Union City, they will have their locales Tagisa ng Talino on That would be on Saturday, tomorrow as well. Union City also sponsoring a Binhi sponsored park cleanup at 2:30. So after they test their brains, they're gonna go clean up one of the closest park. Now on say, oh, jam packed for Union City. They have a Lego making for all of the families there in Union City, and that's starting at 1 p.m. So clean up, then the Lego activity, right? On Sunday, it's South San Jose's go karting day, and that's at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. because they've already worshipped the day before. Because Sundays is free for them, so that's amazing. They get to go karting at 9 early in the morning, and then and here in the local of Redwood City, we will be having a study and reading session. So if we're not studying, we're encouraging everyone to bring something to read and enjoy some time to learn something together. Same thing on Sunday for Union City. We have a bowling day for them starting at 12 noon. And of course, we have upcoming on May 3rd. This is Saturday, May 3rd. We have the Time to Draw Live. So in our district, we are going to have a special guest leading us on this day. So hopefully everyone's already signed up. Please contact your CWS officers if your child hasn't signed up yet. It'll be so much fun. They get a shirt and, of course, learn how to draw.
Some ways, before we wrap up, some ways to tune into our other church media. Our YouTube at INCRadio DZEM 954. Please share the link and subscribe. Our other social medias include Iglesia Ni Cristo News and Updates on Facebook, our Instagram at INC News and Updates. We'd also like to give a special shout out to our church administration, our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our SEBC CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Manalo, as well as our Silicon Valley district staff, starting with District Supervising Minister Ka Noel S. Gasmin, our assistant district supervising minister, Ka Jason Dulalas,
joining us here tonight.
As well as our CFO and overseer, Ka Mark Anthony Manuel, our multimedia advisor, Ka Francis Valencia. From INCRadio, we'd also like to shout out our Kuya Tech.
Thanks, Kuya Tech.
Thank you, brother Manley. Thank you, Brother Wally, our station manager. And I believe that wraps everything up.
Yes, so we'd love to say thank you actually to all our supporters, viewers who's been supporting INCRadio Silicon Valley, California for these past few months. Let's keep it going. Continue to watch us every Friday at 10 p.m. here at INCRadio Silicon Valley, California. We'll see you all next time. Bye. More AI questions? There's some greetings down here.